Hello everybody. We're gonna go and do something fun today. I've already made one. Well, I made a smaller one, and we're going to make a larger one. And if my Uncle Buck's on here today, today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Uncle Bucky. I hope you have a good birthday. I tried to get everything ready. I am going to have to step away and wash my mixing bowl after I get to a certain point because I'm going to need it for the filling. So we're going to do this a little backwards and then we're going to catch back up. So what I did already, we are making a roll cake. So I already have one baked, as you can see. I wanted to show you how I was going to roll it. Let me get a little bit of powdered sugar. Just kept a little bit out so I could. Okay. So, get this on top of this. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's hearts on the inside. Hi, Megan. There's hearts on the inside. I'm going to show you how I did it. And we're going to score. We're going to score this just a little bit so whenever I go to roll it, it's not going to crack on me. So more or less, this is like a sponge cake. And we're just scoring it just a little bit. So when I go to roll it, if I was doing this off camera, I would be rolling it in I have a towel that I use, but I didn't want to do that on here because I didn't want to have somebody say, oh my goodness. All right, so you're just going to start rolling. And there you have it. So it's rolled up. Now, why I have this rolled up, I am going to roll it in a towel. But I put the parchment down first. And then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator while we make the other one. Then we're going to pull this out of the refrigerator. I'm going to wash my mixing bowl. And then we're going to make the egg whites for this. And hello, everybody. I'm going to wash my mixing bowl, and then we're going to make the whipped icing for this and fill it. So that's what we're going to do. But I wanted you guys to see what I did. So we kind of did it just a little backwards. And I'm just going to take this over and stick it in the refrigerator. While I'm in the refrigerator, I'm pulling out my eggs. I've already done my eggs, and I'm getting my mixing bowl out of the refrigerator. You don't have to put your mixing bowl in the refrigerator. I did it because that's just the way I do it whenever you whip up egg whites. So, but we're not going to do that now. It's going to sit right here for a minute. All right, so the first thing that we have to do, there's a lot of steps to this. I mean, once you do it, it's like really easy, but there are some steps to it. So, I'm going to get a different bowl. Make sure this is dry. I washed everything and then had to redo it again, so. Okay, so in this bowl, I think this is going to be too big of a bowl. Wait a minute, guys. I'm all over the place. This one will be. If I get a real big one, you won't be able to see it. Okay, so we got to do the hearts first. So for the hearts, And if you know anything about recipes, this was some lady I follow in Paris. So everything's in grams. So I broke it down into teaspoons and cups. So the first thing you need, the first ingredients that you need 4 3/4 teaspoons of powdered sugar. That's right here. Then you need 2.5 teaspoons of egg whites right here. So we're going to put those in the bowl. You need 2.5 teaspoons of softened butter. Oops. Sorry guys, if I didn't start that, it would keep beeping. So you need 2.5 teaspoons of softened butter. We're going to put that in with the egg whites. Then you need 4 3/4 teaspoons of all-purpose flour. That goes in there as well. And then you're going to add the powdered sugar, which is another 4 3/4 teaspoons. So it all goes into the bowl, okay? And then you're going to start stirring that up. And it takes a little bit, but that butter and that will all start to come together. And this is for your hearts on your pan. I guess I have a niece's birthday today, too. Betsy, if you're out there, happy birthday. So it's Uncle Bucky's birthday and Betsy's birthday today. Okay, so keep stirring. I'm going to put this in this bowl so you can, in the butter bowl, so you can see it. These colored bowls, you can't see in them. Make sure I get it all out of there. Okay, so that's what you have. And then, so it's like a thicker, I don't know, kind of cake batter type thing, is basically what it is. So just keep stirring. And then we're going to add our red dye to it. So this is like, it's not the full-on gel. Hi, Jackie. How are you, sweetie? Hi, Shelly. So this is like a gel liquid food coloring. They do have gel, but this is a liquid gel. And then they have liquid. So I'm going to do 2 drops. As you can tell, when I dropped it, it's a little bit thicker than liquid. All right, so we're going to stir that up. And that's it. Now, we're going to bring over my half sheet pan. And I have it lined with parchment. We're basically making a rolled cake. It's basically what we're making, just like a pumpkin log. So I put my parchment on here. You can buy these little clips at the dollar store. I love the little clips to hold my parchment down. It's just a little hack. You don't have to, but that's what I do. Easier the better. Make yourself a triangle. I'm not going to dirty a pastry bag just for this. I'm just going to make one. Make yourself a triangle. Fold the piece on the inside. It will hold it. That's all you got to do. It will hold it. Then we're going to scrape this into the bag. That's what we're going to do. I should have put this in a cup. Wait a minute here. Work harder, not harder, smarter. There we go. Okay, so you're just going to scoop that in. Now, you can just print off hearts if you want. I'm just going to freehand it. Not every heart is the same. Okay, so just going to get that down. Use my scissors, cut just a little piece off. All right. Then I'm just going to make hearts on my parchment paper. I'll turn it around whenever I'm done. Just do 2 dots and pull it down. Yeah, Valentine's is almost here. You can make this really simple thing for your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance. Okay. I think, well, we got extra batter. Why not just do it up? Might as well use it all. Now, once you do this, it's got to go in the refrigerator and set in the refrigerator for 15 minutes to 20 minutes, this part. And that just gets this cold before you put the other cake mix on top of it. And I'm sure once I turn this around, you'll see some of my hearts are not exactly the same, but that's okay. All right, so there's all the hearts that I piped on. No rhyme, no reason. I just piped them on. So we are going then to put this in the refrigerator, and I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. Too much stuff in the fridge. Okay, guys, that's in for 15. Alexa, set the timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Okay, so that part is done. Now we're going to move on to the next part, which is the cake batter. Okay, so you need 5 egg yolks. Where did I put them? 5 egg yolks going into this big bowl. So you're going to use a total of 5 eggs. You're going to use your egg whites and your egg yolks. So the egg, separate them like I did. Do not get any yolk into your whites, because then you have to start all over. So 5 egg yolks going in. We have a 1/4 plus 1 teaspoon of oil. We're making a roll cake, everybody, if you just jumped on. Hello to everybody in TikTok and Facebook. My name is Jenny. I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We have a couple family members' birthdays today. Uncle Bucky, if you're out there, happy birthday. And Betsy, happy birthday. Okay. Then we're going to need a 1/3 cup of milk, which I have right here. It can be 1%, 2% almond milk, whatever kind of milk you want to choose. That's the milk. Then we're going to need a teaspoon of vanilla. This is my homemade vanilla. Teaspoon of that. Okay. 5 egg yolks, 1/4 and a teaspoon, 1/4 cup plus a teaspoon of oil, a 1/3 cup of milk, a teaspoon of vanilla, and now 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And that's all going in to one bowl. Now you mix this by hand, you don't need a mixer. So you just got to start slowly. Your oven needs to be set on 320, and this is going to bake for 20 minutes. 20 to 25. I'm going to say 20 for mine. I have an electric oven, and when I did the half a sheet one, the 1/4 sheet, I went less on the timer in it, so. I am going to set my timer, though, for 15 minutes and check it before I finish going any further. So just keep stirring, stirring, stirring. Your batter will kind of look like that. But there's a couple little lumps in here, and I don't want to have any lumps. So basically we're making a roll cake, and it's basically a sponge cake recipe is what it is. And I'm sure that a lot of people already have all these ingredients in their house already, so you just keep stirring it. Use what God gave you, your hands, your arm. I'm just trying to make sure there's no lumps. I don't want any lumps. That wouldn't be good to eat some lumps, so. You can use a whisk, but if you put a whisk in here at first, the flour is going to stick to your whisk, and then it's going to clump up. So I would, either a wooden spoon or a spoon like this. Once you get it incorporated, you could go to a whisk if you wanted. But with the milk and the oil and that, it's just going to stick to your whisk and not be very good. Okay, so this part here, we're going to put a little bit of pink food coloring in. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to put a little bit of pink food coloring in this one. So our hearts were red, and we're going to make our batter pink, light pink. I might have to put more in here once we whip up our egg whites and our powdered sugar. Okay, so see how light pink that is? So I think I got some in my hair. Once I go to mix up the egg whites, I'll probably put another dot or two in here. So now we're going to leave this sit here, and we're going to go over to the mixing bowl, and I'm going to put my 5 egg whites, and I'm going to start them mixing. And then I'm going to put in 2/3 cup of powdered sugar, but we're going to wait until it starts to form like meringue. And then we're going to start a little bit at a time putting our powdered sugar in. And you want to use a whisk, definitely a whisk. Okay, so my bowl is still cold. Oh, let me turn you guys. My bowl is still cold. If you put a stainless steel bowl in the refrigerator, it's going to stay cold for a while. Okay, so here's your 5 egg whites. They're going in. Crank that thing up on high and let it whip. Then I have 2/3 cup of powdered sugar. And once I start to see that make like a soft meringue, I'm going to start adding in this powdered sugar. So it's 2/3 cup of powdered sugar. It might take a little bit. It might take a little bit. And then once we get this part done and I get this in the oven, once I get this part done and I get it in the oven, then I'm going to mix that mixing bowl up. I'm going to wash it. And then we're going to make the filling for the one that I already made. So it will take a little bit. How's the weather in everybody else's part of the world? Hi, Carla. It's going to be, I think they said 47 here today, and tomorrow is going to be 63 and full sun. So I can't wait for that. It's starting. It's starting. Those eggs got to get whipped, whipped, whipped. Did everybody enjoy the Super Bowl? I know there's some Seahawks fans on here for sure. Our team wasn't in it this year, but maybe next year we'll be in it. Okay, guys, so now the meringue is like a soft meringue, so I'm going to start adding in the powdered sugar a little at a time. I'm going to shut it off for 1 minute and scrape it down. I want to make sure all that powdered sugar goes in there. Oh, I can hear the fighter jets going over the house. Okay. So then when that comes out of the mixing bowl, you're going to fold that into your cake batter. That's what we're going to do, is we're going to fold it. And I might add some more, hello Crystal. We might add some more pink food coloring in to make it a little pinker. So when your meringue comes out, if it sticks to your, and you can turn, if it sticks to the beater, and you can turn your bowl upside down, it's ready to go. So by the time we get this done, our pan that we drew the hearts on should be ready, and it should bing, and then we can put this on top of our hearts and then put it in the oven, and then the sponge cake will bake. Let's take a peek. We're good to go. All right, so now we're going to fold this into our cake mixture. I'm going to give this another little stir. And first of all, it's so thick it don't want to come out, so we'll just use the spoon. I'm going to take about half of it out and kind of fold that into the cake mix. Now the recipe says 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 15 because I've already, like I said when we first started, I already made one of these. And I have an electric oven and it took less time. Hello, Crystal. I'm going to put some more pink food coloring in here. So that was 2 more drops. So we have a total of 3 drops of the food pink. And then when we did the hearts, I did 2 drops of the red. Okay, I'm going to get some more of this meringue. And this time I'm going to put the rest in. So the trick with meringue, when you're making a sponge, is you don't want to over whip it in with the cake batter. You want it to be airy. So just keep folding it in. Keep folding it in. And I might add 1 more drop of pink because I think that's really light. But that's okay. All right, 1 more drop of pink. Hey Tanya, how are you, sweetheart? Okay, so 1 more drop of pink. We're gonna fold that in, and then our sponge will be ready to pour into our half a sheet pan. And that's perfect timing. We have 19 seconds left. So I'm just going to let this sit. I can show you guys how airy it is. It's almost resemblance of an angel food cake in a way. Alexa, stop. All right, I'm going to step away and grab my half sheet pan so we can put this on top of it. This out. Okay, guys. So there's our half sheet pan. Remember, we piped the hearts on. So now those are set, and we're just going to pour this batter on top, and these hearts won't move. They'll stay just how you want it. So I'm just going to take it and pour straight down, and then back, and then start scooping some out. So if you want to make something easy for your husband for Valentine's Day, now this won't need a lot of decorations on the outside because your hearts are going to show on the outside of the cake. So, all right, let me get rid of this. Now I'm just going to take this spoon and start moving this around. And I'm sure you can see how fluffy this is. So it's going to go right over top of your hearts. Right over top. Get all the way to the edge. Let me get my little scraper. Okay. Looks good to me. Try to even it out as much as you can, because you want your cake to be the same everywhere. I'm sure there's lots of people out here that's made pumpkin rolls. This is no different. You're just making a sponge instead of pumpkin. Okay, so that looks good to me. And I'm going to give it a little tap and take off my clips. And in the oven, I'm going to set my timer to start for 15 minutes. And then we'll check it. And if it's not ready in 15, then I'll add more time. Alexa, set the timer for 15 minutes. Okay, I gotta wash my
15 minutes, starting now.
I gotta wash my mixing bowl so I can do the icing. I need to have more than one mixing bowl. Okay. So the mixing bowl is ready. I gotta dry the inside. I do not want water on my icing. So we're just going to make like a basic whipped cream icing is what we're gonna do. Okay, let me get the cake. Here's our cake that I made earlier. This one's smaller than the one that we just did. Hi everybody, we're making a rolled cake today for Valentine's Day. Okay, so I have it rolled up. And for my icing, I'm just going to do some heavy whipping cream with some powdered sugar, and that's going to be my icing. I'm not going to put any flavoring in it. Well, maybe do I want to? I might want to. I don't know. I think I want to keep it vanilla, though. We'll put some vanilla in. Okay. So I'm going to pour this into my mixing bowl. There's a half a container here. I'm going to pour that in. Now you guys can put whatever you want in the inside. If you want to do a different kind of whipped cream, if you want to do icing, if you want to do a chocolate filling, a cherry filling, whatever you want to put on the inside, you can put on yours. I just know what my husband will eat, so that's what I'm going to put in mine. All right, so we need to get some powdered sugar. I'm not even sure how much I want to put in here. Let's see, maybe a half a cup. Half a cup. So I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla in. Probably a teaspoon with a little extra for goodness. I'm just going to pour it in. Okay, I'm going to let that mix for a second. We can unroll this. Oh, I should have put something down on it. Oh, well. I should have rolled the towel in it like I was going to. It'll be alright. See how it's sticking? I didn't want to put the towel on it like I do whenever I do make them because I didn't want somebody to say, oh, you shouldn't do that. But that's why you should do it. That's okay. It's alright. Okay. I guess I know what I need to do. I should just do it. Don't worry about it. While that's whipping, I'm going to grab a platter. We got a nice, thick whipped cream. Looks good to me. All right, so what we're going to do is put our whipped cream in the center. Now, if you put regular icing in this, you won't have to keep it refrigerated. However, being as I'm using whipped cream, this will go in the refrigerator. I know I'm noisy. Okay, so whipped cream, it goes on. You could put fresh strawberries on here also. You can do, there's tons of things you can do. So just have fun with it. I'm just gonna, now, on this small one, I did not, but on the big one, you can, on the big one, I will trim off the edges. This one I didn't. It's so small anyway, I didn't want to take any more of the cake off. But you can trim off your edges. It's fine. I want a little bit more. Make sure you get it, you know, to the edge. You can wipe up the edge if it comes out, you know. And make sure you get up in your crevice there. The military must be doing some sort of maneuvers today. A lot of planes out there today. Okay, guys, let me move this out of the way. And I have, so there's enough whipped cream to do that other cake. So now I'm just going to start rolling my sponge. And while I'm rolling, I'm going to be peeling off the outside edge. The heart stayed, so that's good. And there it is. Can you see the hearts? Absolutely beautiful. And just get yourself a pretty platter. You can melt chocolate if you want. You can melt chocolate and go around each heart with chocolate if you like. You can do a couple dollops with some oh, I do have that. We could do some strawberries. So there's your roll cake. And it turned out really nice. So you can sprinkle powdered sugar the top if you want. You can do some dollops with a couple strawberries. Yeah, there's all different things you can do. So it's simple to do. I did this first one, and I actually broke my recipe down so I could only do a small one. And then I did the big one with you guys. Hello, everybody. So I will go over the recipe again. So for your first thing, when we did the hearts, you need 4 3/4 teaspoons of powdered sugar. You need 2.5 teaspoons of egg whites. You need 2.5 teaspoons of softened butter and 4 3/4 teaspoons of flour. You mix that all up. You just keep mixing and mixing and mixing. I used 2 drops of the gel liquid food coloring for the red. And then you pipe it out onto your tray. You pipe it out. Put it in the refrigerator for 15 minutes. While that's in the refrigerator for 15 minutes, you mix up your sponge recipe. And that consists of 5 eggs total, and you're going to use the egg whites and the egg yolks. You need to separate them. 5 egg yolks, 1/4 and 1 teaspoon of oil, 1/3 cup of milk, 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And you mix that up with your hand. You do not need a mixer. Use what God gave you. Use that hand. Use that hand. And beat everything until the lumps are all out. Okay? By the time you get that all done, go to the refrigerator, pull out your parchment that you did the hearts on, and then you set it out. Then you whip up 5 egg whites. When it starts to come to a soft meringue, you add 2/3 cup of powdered sugar to it and let it beat until that meringue is full peaks. If it's a full peak, you pull it off, turn your bowl upside down, and nothing comes out, you're ready to go. You fold that in with your cake mix. Fold it in, and I added a total of 5 drops of pink into the sponge and the meringue. You fold in your meringue, you set the timer. I have mine set for 15. The lady says it's between 20 and 25 minutes. I have an electric stove, and it seems to cook quicker. So I am watching it. And then you bake it and make your whipped topping or whatever you want to put in the inside. I roll mine with a towel on top, powdered sugar, and roll it with a towel. That's what I do all the time. I did it with parchment on here for you guys because I know a lot of people are like, don't use a towel, so I used parchment and it started to stick. You saw that. So use a towel when you're doing a roll cake. A towel, cheesecloth, whatever you want to use. I use a towel. And then once it cools off, roll it up, put it in the refrigerator, let it sit for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, pull it out, mix up your whipped topping, and voila, you got a wonderful Valentine's sponge cake for somebody that you love. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to get off here and make up some more icing, and I'm going to put this one in the fridge and clean up my mess. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll probably be on tomorrow. It just depends on how late I'm at the doctor's. So I think I'll be on here though. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will post a picture and the recipe like I always do. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye, Uncle Bucky. I hope you have a great birthday.